Hello. Hmm. How are you? So what's that? It says you are made of magic, and that is the truth of you. That you are made of magic. What does that mean? That means nothing is impossible. That means I am so happy to be here with you right now in this moment. Thank you so much for all the love you showered with the talk from yesterday. I mean, my heart is full. It was so amazing. And I'm glad to know that the fun exercises that we shared, you found them really useful. And thank you so much again for the amazing feedback. Now, we dive even deeper today into accessing your inner power. If you did not manage to catch the talk from yesterday, this is Ruchi, and I am back here. I shared my story, my journey yesterday, and the one thing I would just like to share again is I was somebody who was struggling with confidence, self-esteem, hiding parts of myself. Accessing your inner power is a summary of the last 4 years of my journey of finding way back to myself. So I was somebody who would rather die than be on stage. From that person, although I wanted to find my voice, I had my message, but I was so unsure of myself, so filled with self-doubt. Accessing your inner power is the journey of finding your way back to yourself. So if you don't want to be a speaker, global transformational speaker, therapist, doesn't matter. It's about finding your mission, what you came here for. You did not come here just by chance. Oh, few cells fall in place and you're like, okay, you are here. You are a spiritual being who chose to have a human existence, right? So this life has meaning, this life has purpose, and you're here to live your mission, to live your purpose. So we talked about trauma and healing. Trauma is a disconnection with yourself, right? So you're here, whole, complete, worthy, beautiful, lovable. That is how we are all born, right? And then the disconnection happens. The disconnection could be because of anything. Trauma could be anything, but then what belief you form about yourself at that point, right? Today I'm going to share a few more deeper ways, but again, easy and fun. Just a quick reflection of what we did yesterday. We talked about the self-love phone exercise or mirror exercise, right? Looking in your eyes in the mirror or on the phone. We actually did it together, which was really fun. So it's like saying your name, Ruchi, I love you truly, deeply, and unconditionally. I love and accept all parts of you, right? Then we talked about making the proud list, which is, as I said, stating right in front of me. It's all the physical, mental, personal, professional, emotional, spiritual, all the challenges and obstacles that you've overcome in the last 20 years of your life. Writing them out on paper and sticking it in front of you, right? Expressive writing is basically taking the trash out of your head, keeping your houses clean, keeping your system clean, all the thoughts, emotions, feeling, girdling around pen and paper, just get them out of your system, right? So this is what we talked about. Now, we dive even deeper today. Where do we go from here? We go to self-compassion, right? Self-compassion, right? Now, what does self-compassion mean? I think oh, hi Pat, lovely to see you. Thank you so much for being here. So, what is self-compassion? We were all, as we grew up, we are told, oh, you should be kind, and manners, and sorries, and thank yous, and pleases, and how nice you are when you help other people, how kind you are when you're talking nicely to other people. Did anybody ever tell you to talk kindly to yourself? Okay, that is what we call the inner dialogue. Now, this is the making or breaking of you. Why do I say this? Because I was somebody just about 4 years back who had the most toxic inner dialogue. Right. So, Ruchi, what is this inner dialogue? Now, all of us have this all the time. Let me give you an example. Say, okay, I'm heading to work, I'm having my morning smoothie, and I'm all ready, and I have, by accident, I spilled the smoothie on myself. What does your mind say? Oh my God, Ruchi, you're so clumsy. Why do you do this all the time? Blah, 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 blah. Does that go down a rabbit hole? When things do not go your way, which side do you go? How do you speak to yourself? That is what your inner dialogue is. Now, why is this important? See, life is going to be full of ups, downs, failures, things going your way, things not going your way. Your inner dialogue is the making or breaking of it, right? We talked about being your own loving parent. It starts with a kinder, loving conversation with yourself, right? Okay, so we talked about the self-love mirror exercise. Now, we are going to add a little bit more to it. So how do you become your own loving parent, right? So we all wanted this love and appreciation being told about, it could be individual to each person. When you're being your own loving parent, you talk to yourself that way, no matter what. Now, does your way of talking to yourself change overnight? No. But remember, we don't build the bridge in the time of a storm. You build it in calmer times, right? So on a daily basis, on a moment-to-moment basis, when things are calm, when things are okay, have a positive, encouraging conversation with yourself. And now, with neuroplasticity, this will become a newer pathway. So right now, what works for you is, it's like the same pathways that have been going on all over your life. So whenever something goes wrong, you go back in there. So now when you form this new neural pathway, initially it might be like a thin road, it might take a bit of effort, but then if you keep going back at it, you keep talking to yourself kindly, lovingly, compassionately, appreciating yourself, celebrating yourself every single day. So Pat is still here with me, she hasn't left us, so that's amazing. And I would say that, Pat, would you celebrate yourself every single day? If yes, please, I would encourage you to write yes in the comments below. And every single one of you watching this right now or later on, okay? If you make a promise, no, why if? Let's put our hand on our heart, if you're not driving, of course, and make a promise to ourselves that I am going to be my loving parent, yeah? What does that mean? That means I am going to appreciate myself, celebrate myself, no matter what the life situation, right? Does that mean running away from your feelings? No. This means actually acknowledging your feelings. And we're going to come just to that. So I said a whole lot of things about compassion. So let's come back in summary. If you're like, okay, what am I supposed to do? Kind, loving, affirmative, inner dialogue. That is the baseline of self-compassion. Keeping your own cup full. You're not coming from a space of neediness in any relationship, be it as a parent, be it as a child, be it as a partner, be it as an employer, employee. You are filling your cup, and now it's so full that you can come from a place of giving rather than neediness. That is self-compassion. If you're going to do that, let's say yay together and write yes in the comments below. All right, so that's self-compassion. Now, next we come to say a slightly different way of acknowledging yourself. Okay, so I grew up thinking that vulnerability is something is wrong with me. I was told, Ruchi, you are too sensitive, you feel too much, how are you going to survive this world? This is not how the world works. And of course, I suffered the disconnection with the childhood sexual abuse that I experienced. But we talked about it, that trauma is not a life statement, right? I use rapid transformational therapy, heart healing, inner power access coaching. All of these things literally transform my way of how I look at myself, my life, how I deal with situations, how I deal with challenges, obstacles, finding my way back to myself. I can share with you so many testimonials of the most amazing women who put their trust in me, but I am a living testimonial. because I wouldn't be here talking to you, because this is a person who would rather die than be on a stage. From that person to becoming a global transformational speaker, podcaster, author, speaking here right now in front of you, letting go of the fear of failure, fear of judgment, it would have been impossible, right? What I'm here to share right now is a firm belief in yourself that you are worthy. You are here for a mission. You are not here just like that, okay? Do not compare yourself to anyone else, right? This is again very, very, very important, okay? I want you to imagine a visual, like, this is this big, beautiful light. You can call it the brightest, most beautiful light. You can even close your eyes if you're not driving, if you feel comfortable to do so. This bright, beautiful light, think of the brightest sun you can think of. And there are like thousands of rays coming out of it, right? This central light, think of it as your higher self, divine consciousness, God, whatever is it that resonates with you. So we all came from there, and now all of these rays are us, each one of us, on our own individual journey, right? Would you ever think that one ray will look at the other ray, compare itself to the other ray and think, oh my God, I'm not good enough. I need to do something else to match up with the other one. No, 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 right? They're going to keep shining, like, flowers keep blooming just for the joy of it, not to compare with the flower next to us, right? School, mark system, teachers, parenting, caretakers, somehow we always thought that, if I am better than the person next to me, only then I'm valid or worthy. You are worthy and you are enough just because you are you. You are running your own race. The only comparison you have is you. When you want to compare, you compare yourself from the you from 6 months back, you from 2 years back, 5 years back, 10 years back, 20 years back. Do that. Definitely do that. And you will realize how far you have come. Yes, there's a long way to go, but how far you have come, right? So this is the part 2 of self-compassion. That is, do not ever compare you or your journey to anyone else, because it is as unique as your fingerprint. Then we come to diving deep, sitting with your feeling. So feelings, we're generally told they are good emotions and bad emotions. Well, emotions are just emotions. They are not exactly good or bad. So what happens is, whenever an emotion that comes in, which you would call bad emotion, what I would do is I would turn towards being productive or shut it down. Now what happens is the emotion has just come to deliver a message. If I shut it down, it will keep banging even harder. Learning to sit with the discomfort. Okay, hand on my heart, this is not the easiest, but this will be very deep and very profound, because this is the love you're giving to your inner child. All of us have faced traumas in life. It doesn't have to be childhood sexual abuse. It could be something else. And we formed beliefs about ourselves which were limiting, which were disconnecting to our true self, to our whole self. Sitting with the discomfort is like not telling your inner child what to do or trying to fix it. Okay, so my son told me, I only love Papa, I don't love you. I felt extremely upset, because obviously as a mother you go above and beyond to do everything for your child. And now I'm thinking, maybe I'm not a good enough mother, maybe I'm not doing good enough. I'm sitting on the toilet seat and crying my eyes out. So normally what I would have done is just shut it down. Okay, come on Ruchi, you're making a big deal out of nothing. Let's get productive. Why are you wasting your time? Hear it? The dialogue that comes from conditioning. Instead, I am sitting with myself on the toilet seat, not fighting the emotion. Yes, I'm feeling the discomfort. I wanted to ease it out. I cried. Rather than running away from it, I'm just sitting. Okay, right. Just sit with it. What is it telling me? What is it telling me to face? And what came up was fear of rejection. Fear of rejection. the emotion is coming to tell me, Ruchi, this needs to be dealt with. If you need to go on a higher stage, becoming a better version of yourself, becoming a whole version of yourself, facing your fears. Facing your fears. Fear doesn't need to stall you down. You can still keep driving and invite the fear to sit in the passenger seat, right? But you need to face them. You can't keep running away from them. You know, yesterday I talked about hitting rock bottom and taking off the chains of guilt and shame. But the biggest courage that was needed was actually the courage of actually facing them. So when you choose to stop running away and face the fear, face the emotion, that is a really brave step in itself, okay? And from there, I would really come to the next I, which is inner child healing, right? For the inner child healing, I've created this beautiful guided inner child healing meditation for you. I shared the link for it yesterday as well, and I will share it today as well. Now, this is really, really deep and really, really profound. And that's why, you know, in my working space, I've got this little 4-year-old Ruchi smiling at you. She's the one who experienced the sexual abuse. And somehow I disconnected myself with parts of me. If you have experienced, I mean, life in itself, growing up, all of us experience trauma. If you're ready to take back your power, if you're ready to let go of the limiting beliefs that pull you back, that tell you to abandon parts of you. If you met me 4 years back, I would meet with like, oh my God, this needs to stay back. You know, people can't see the whole of me because otherwise I will be rejected or I will be judged. Today, as an author, I write about it, I speak about it, I have spoken about it in my podcast. Why? Because it is not my shame to carry. It is not my shame to carry, right? Whatever you feel, I am not worthy, I am not good enough, the journey is inside out. You achieving something outside, that happiness, that house, that goal, that career is not going to make you full. You healing here will unfold and ripple into all of your dreams. You are your biggest asset. So that's where self-love mirror or phone exercise, we talked about it, you know, do it every single day, first thing in the morning. If you can't, you have your phone, you know, literally looking at your phone, you can do. So if you're going to do the self-love phone exercise, just write yes in the comments below. If you're going to make the proud list, you know, all the challenges, obstacles that you overcame in the last 20 years of your life, and stick it in front of you. So when self-doubt comes pushing you, banging you, you're like, no, I have got what it takes. Then we talked about being our own loving parent. Only you know what you need to hear, right? So you can tell yourself, looking in the mirror, even when things are falling apart, Ruchi, you are worthy. I am so proud of you. I'm so proud of how far you have come. I am so proud of how authentic you are, how real you are. Being your loving parent is the most beautiful gift of compassion that you can give yourself, right? So the inner child healing guided meditation is something I have created with all of my heart, and I would be sharing the link in the comments anyways. And there is a mysterious free gift as well, because, you know, for Pat to stay all the way, and for every single one of you who actually listens to the talk later on. All right, thank you so much. But we are not done yet. I want you to wait a minute and give yourself a pat on the back, like right now in this moment, because learning and growth is such an important pillar of coming back to yourself. I'm not talking about learning and growth that we do in school, but life in itself, it's a school of learning. Choosing to learn and grow every single day. How do you do that? So a whole lot of times, you know, if I'm stuck with a decision, what do I do? Simple question. Is this decision gonna help me grow? Or is this decision gonna help make me constrict? And obviously, if you're choosing a decision that's gonna help you grow, it might be uncomfortable. But remember, so Here you are on your deathbed, maybe the last day of your life. Are you going to be there thinking, thank God, Aunt so and so or Uncle so and so said so, and I did not follow my dreams? Thank God I did not try that and I did not fail. You would never say that, right? Most of the time it's, I could have, would have, should have, why did I not do it? Let's make a pledge to live a life that when it's time to leave this body, we have left no stone unturned. Do not be afraid to fail. Yes, this is something like a weight on my heart. Literally, 35 years of my life, even more than that, I lived thinking like, if I fail, I'm gonna die. Like, failure was a complete no, it cannot be. Here I'm saying failure is first attempt at learning. So for learning and growth, whatever your goal is, when you make that first podcast, when you do your first client, whatever the first is, it's not going to be good, right? I'm here speaking to you right now. 3 years back, when I made my first video, I would keep making videos but never post them because I'm looking at it, oh my God, this is not good. Good is better than perfect, right? You do it and you keep doing it, Confidence comes out of your competence. And where does competence come from? Competence comes from doing. Remember this. Confidence doesn't come from you contemplating and creating the best presentation ever, the best podcast ever, the best client interaction ever. Competence comes from doing. Competence comes from making mistakes. Competence comes from embracing failure as a stepping stone. Reminding yourself that failure is first attempt at learning. And I want to really give you the loudest applaud and give a big pat on your back because you're here right now investing in yourself, learning, growing, empowering yourself, reminding yourself of the innate, unique power that you hold. There's only one you. There cannot be another you. And the only person who can be best at being you is you. The real you, the authentic you, the worthy you. So if you're a mom, if you're an entrepreneur, if you are an employer, if you're an employee, you're a musician, whatever you do, bring you on the table. You, the whole of you, without the fear of who's going to think what, I'm going to feel rejected. And if you're struggling with, most of these fears are subconscious, unconscious, fear of failure, fear of judgment. And that's why I work with the conscious and unconscious. So Inner Power Access Coaching works with the conscious, whereas Rapid Transformational Therapy and Heart Healing works with the subconscious. And as I said, I am a living testimonial that it works. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing anything that I do. I love freeing my own voice, embracing my authentic self, from the person who would rather die than be on stage, to sharing my truth. 4 years back, I would be crawling on the floor, bawling my eyes out, talking about what I'm talking. Becoming a global transformational speaker, best-selling author, having my podcast was an impossibility. It just couldn't be. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you move from trauma, you holding yourself back, limiting beliefs, trauma holding you back, fear of failure, fear of judgment, self-worth issues. If you've experienced childhood trauma, sexual abuse, I'm here to hold your hand. Mostly I work with women who come to me with self-worth, self-confidence issues. But as we dig deep, 9 out of 10 times it was childhood trauma, sexual trauma. And that's what I niche in. But I am here to hold your hand. All the tools that I've shared, I call it Sicily, S-I-C-I-L-E. So, we have shared the tools here. These are the tools that helped me in the depths of despair where I did not know where to go, right? So if you're feeling I'm completely lost, I don't even know, okay, this lady who's talking seems really sorted. I've been there, I've done that. I know how it feels. And it gives me immense joy, pleasure, fulfillment in helping women embrace their shine, in helping women let go of the clutches of, needing validation from others, the clutches of guilt and shame that pull you down. So it's like you are this diamond and there are these layers covering your shine. So after the sessions, literally after first or second session, I feel seen, I feel heard, I feel light. Why? I feel light is so common because it's like all I'm doing is you are the diamond, you've got the shine, you've got your unique potential. I am just helping you take off the layers so that you can embrace your shine again. You can embrace the worth, your unique self. Yeah, you came here confident, worthy, amazing, lovable. This is all luggage, you know. Trauma created the disconnection. Sometimes your caretaker's opinions created the disconnection. Healing is about coming back to yourself. All right, amazing. So all the things that we discussed here, if you're gonna do that, do write me in the comments below. I would love to hear from you, right? It was such an amazing honor and pleasure to be here with you. Thank you so much again, Pat, for staying all the way through. I hope you found this of great value. And big love. I'm going to be sharing my free gift now, and I'll also share my Linktree link. So I would love to connect with you and get to know you better, and I welcome feedback. Thank you so much. Big love. And of course, remember, you are made of magic.